Then,
Out in their pajamas that look like a dress. Because there's something we had talked about. So of course, the second he sees those,
yeah.
it's like, put them on me.
I know.
And his socks. And his little monster socks is, my daughter was showing it to him and
Yeah.
she says, see, it's a monster. Rawr.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Get a roar.
Scott, are your kids into that K-pop demon hunting? Our granddaughter is. Do you guys know what it is?
I've heard of that.
It's a Netflix thing. It's a show. It's like the hottest thing with kids right now. She's all into it. So we ordered her. They were sold out, but we haven't seen her yet. They're coming next week. The K-pop Vans.
Okay.
She's gonna love them.
Are you gonna do
No. The purple hair and the braid. Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah. So he's gonna win
Oh,
the Cool Grandpa of the Year award.
Remember during the costume
Because
contest?
we're just really
It
strong.
was
Yes, he's putting
some
two words.
kids dressed with like yellow and then they had like a purple.
But he said
hair.
this
Is that something enemy person or?
Yeah, it's from that.
But it's been striped. Yeah, he says blue now. And he says.
Just one second, guys.
So I finally got to that point where I just can't keep up.
And he'll say,
What's going on?
gee.
Oh.
Good for a while.
Gee. But yeah, it's just been, he has just not been really, but I think he's starting to see the connection of that it's cool to say a word and have people understand me as opposed to just doing his made up sign language, which we've been doing. He has some signs, but anyway, and there's nothing more awful than a small child coming up to you doing a sign for I want milk.
No. Oh.
Yes, it's like,
I know.
Do you want to get anything cool for
No,
Christmas?
but yeah, when he kept
I
coming
know.
up to me, it was so funny. I did some comment
Yeah.
about coming up to me yanking
But
about yanking the udder. And
I know my friend
first time
like
ago,
it.
was it weeks?
we used to find stuff.
Good.
Oh, okay.
And my kids got. Brother Tech. So
Yeah.
I got started by American, but
A kid took
I
a.
can't afford Brother Tech.
Like, all right.
They got really expensive. I don't know. When they started,
We do, that's what
because
we.
I have someone that's a coma.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when they first started coming.
Mr. President, I
Yeah.
think we're
Pretty reasonable.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, I will call this first meeting of 2026 of the Woodbury Recreation and Park District to order at 6:40. And Ms. Johnson, please, pledge of allegiance.
Place your hand over your heart, ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Division 1, Kim Gerald Johnson.
Here.
Division 2, Jose Luis Figueres.
Present.
Division 3, Tammy Rivas is on her way. Division 4, Edgar Castellano. Division 5, Ross Layton.
Here. Hey, do we have any presentations or recognitions tonight?
none this evening, Mr. President.
Any public comments? Move on to the consent calendar. Does anybody wish to pull anything off the consent calendar?
I move approval. I move approval of the consent calendar.
Second. We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Uh,
Motion passes 4-0. Okay, board action items 5.1, approval agreement with Community Works Design Group for the completion of construction documents for the 37th Street Park. Mr. Wood.
Yes, thank you. About 3 years ago, January of 2023, we approved an agreement with Community Works Design Group for the conceptual drawings for 37th Street Park. Can't believe it was 3 years ago already. As you know, we've been actively pursuing grants for the project. And we are at a point now that we feel we're in a good position to be awarded some funds for the project. In preparation of that, we need to start getting the project ready to be shovel ready. We reached out to Community Works Design Group and asked for a proposal for the completion of the project, including all the engineering, bid management, or assistant with bid management and construction management. And that's what's before us here. Their total on the project is $219,198, I want to say it is, which is right in line with what we anticipated for a project that we're estimating to cost around right at $2 million. We've had a long history with Community Works Design Group, doing a number of projects on behalf of the district. Also, they have worked with a couple of developers that have built projects for the district. So we have a good history with them. They're a local firm, which is very nice, very responsive. And if there are site visits needed, they're close just across the river to Riverside here. So it makes it very easy if a problem does arise in the project, they can get out and make technical inspections as needed. Primarily what we're looking at right now to get this project going, we need some engineering documents having to do with grading. So we can start submitting documentation to the city for our CEQA process. The anticipation is that this project will receive a notice of exemption because it's an infill project. But we just got to make sure we're under all the thresholds, primarily regards to the vehicle miles traveled and stuff along those lines. So, but with that, we anticipate, once the grant is awarded, assuming it is, hit the ground running. We have 5 years to complete the project with the federal government. This should not take anywhere near that if it is awarded. And if it's not, all the documentation will be good to go, get a shovel-ready project for another grant opportunity should one become available. So with that, I'm available for any questions. Also, Scott Rice, president of Community Works Design Group, is here. And then Annalisa, I'm going to butcher your last name, I apologize, but she's online as well. She's not the AI chat bot that we thought she was.
Are there any questions?
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
So this includes doing like environmental soil testing and things like that, investigating the history of the property to see what was there previously, if there was anything there previously, et cetera.
Correct. Is that from me or Mr. Rice? But
Whoever wants
I'll
to.
have you on.
I believe it's the
Yes.
cost breakdown that's shown on the screen right now. It's part of the agenda report.
Yeah.
But it does include the investigation of the soils.
And the investigation of the history of the property to see if anything like a
Correct.
gas station had been there. I don't think
Exactly.
it was. But
And
just put it as a-
we did do a phase one prior to the purchase of the property. which
Okay.
Included all that.
Okay,
Not the soil, but the preliminary.
preliminary history. Okay, great.
Yes.
And then, so it includes construction administration.
Right.
What happens if, for whatever reason, unknown to us, construction is delayed?
Construction is delayed by outside circumstances, like.
Yes, like, we don't get the grant, or for some reason, we can't get wood because there's a problem with getting wood. You see what I mean? It's just, we have a number for today right now for contract administration. What happens if the contract?
So construction administration is a not to exceed.
Mhm.
So if we're not using the hours, we're not using those, we're not billed for anything.
But we would have to then enter to a separate agreement later on to do it? How long does this price last for construction?
Yes, as your general manager mentioned, when it comes to construction admin, we do our services hourly. And so in the situation that you're describing, the first thing that would happen is we would just pause our services and you would only pay for the hours expended to that point.
I think the question is, if this sits on the shelf for 4 years and we come back, we renegotiate your rates at that time for the construction.
Right,
administration.
or you can pick up the construction management with another firm if necessary, if the price isn't right. That's the benefit of having an hourly breakdown for the construction admin.
I was just wondering how long was the construction admin price good for?
We
Year?
have not in the past with the district, and we can confirm that. We've never gone back and asked for an escalation.
Okay.
We've always honored our original price.
And I did go back and compare their proposal here in front of us versus what was proposed 3 years ago. With the exception of Mr. Rice's rates, none of their other rates have changed,
Okay,
the breakdown.
okay. I just. I don't know, things change. You just never know what's gonna happen nowadays. So I just wanted to find out what was going on with that. Thank you.
Sure.
Do we have a ballpark time frame when we might hear about the grant?
For the federal government. So they're hoping first quarter of 26 for notification. And then we have a year to complete our NEQA, which is the National Environmental Quality Act. And then from there, we will get our official awards and can start construction.
But we could get the CEQA and NEQA done.
But we need to
earlier
have the CEQA and NEQA done
before
before they will give us their. We'll get the the conditional award, but we won't receive the final award until those are complete.
And it's just a federal grant. We didn't apply for a state grant as well.
It's a federal grant administered by the State Department of Office of Grants and Local Services. So.
Questions done?
Yeah, I have less of a, well, it's more of a comment. I did see that, we're gonna be planning irrigation and planting. And then farther down, you have the sort of the triage of what you're gonna focus on. I would just, emphasize that we focus on native plants.
That is, if you remember on this project, and it was a number of years ago, we proposed it, we've worked with the Inland Empire Resource Conservation. And they will provide us, at least at the time, any of the plant material needed to the Santa Ana riverbed free of charge. As long as we're giving them, I believe they wanted about 6 months notice so they could basically grow it for us, and they're actually gonna do it at Glen Emmett Heritage Park. So it'll be all local native plants that we're looking at.
Just confirming clarification, where it says up to 5 coordination meetings. Who are the coordination meetings with?
It'd be with staff
Okay.
or contractor as needed.
I have one question or comment, I guess, and that is that the last sentence deals with when payment is due, and it says it'll be billed in proportion to the percentage of work completed at the time of billing. And there's all sorts of different expertises being performed here. I would like to suggest that you add 2 words, that the agreed upon percentage of work completed, because for obvious reasons, a contractor could say that the plans are 90% done when they're only 50% done, and we would never know the difference. And so on. And it gets even worse when you get into more technical projects that are included in this project. So I would just suggest those 2 words. I would actually prefer, Colby, in the future to have a professional services agreement that just incorporates this fee proposal with your other normal language. But I think it's okay to go without that if we were to include that, because then you at least can say, well, show me the half of the work that's done, since you're billing me for the half of the work.
Yeah, we're completely open to adding the language.
Okay, agreed upon.
There's no other questions. I will take a motion.
I will move to approve a professional services agreement with Community Works Design Group for the preparation of construction documents, bidding assistance, and construction support services for 37th Street Park in an amount not to exceed $219,198, with the agreed upon language addition as suggested by our attorney, and authorize the general manager to execute the agreement and any amendments within the approved scope and budget.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Exciting.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And just for clarification purposes for the board, prior to anything going to bid, the final project will be presented to you for approval as well.
And so this will be the first public park constructed in Rubidoux since the 1960s. The last one would have been Avalon.
As long as,
I'm talking about public park, not private park.
I don't know if you, yeah. I would- yeah.
Avalon would have been the last one.
Avalon.
And the last one, Avalon was like in the 1960s.
With the little airplane park, that's not considered Riverdale?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. That was what, the early 2000s.
Yeah, that was not that ago. I was saying,
Yeah.
isn't that considered Riverdale?
Okay, sorry, I forgot about that one. I was thinking about Jensen Ranch or Loring Ranch, but that's not.
Yeah.
You're right. Never mind.
Okay,
Still exciting though.
Still exciting.
all right, let's move on to item 5.2. This is approval of pyrotechnics contract for July 3rd, 2026 Independence Celebration. Mr. DeGuy.
Yes, this is our pyrotechnics contract for 2026. Staff reached out to a number of vendors requesting proposals, and as we've had the last few times, we've only received one proposal back from Pyro Spectaculars, with the other vendors indicating they did not have the means or staff to be able to take on any more shows. We also just had the discussion with Pyro Spectaculars about the possibility of a potential hybrid show with drones, and that was not something they have within their capacity right now. The amount of drones and operators they had are already accounted for this coming year. They anticipate having more available in the future, and should we want to explore those options in the future, we could at that point. The proposal from Power Spectaculars is $43,000. That's an increase of about $4,000 from last year's show. In comparisons of the current proposal versus what was provided to us in the past, it is a different show. There's a decent number more shells being proposed in
It
this.
is more shows, yeah.
But they're different sizes. One of the things in talking with the sales rep, it's something we'd already discussed and kind of didn't think about, but obviously the tariffs are playing into this. They're really trying to streamline their operations to make it as cost efficient as possible for all their clients. Thank you. So they're not maintaining as many different shells, styles of stuff. But he did say added into this show is 100. What was the term again? Loud devices for the 250th anniversary. So if we didn't set off somebody's car alarm last year, we're gonna do it this year is what it comes down to.
In the business, they're called salutes.
Yes. This is essentially their base entry level show that is available. There's nothing we can subtract from the show, but we can always add to it if we would like to, he said. So this is confirmed for July 3rd, 2026. And to ensure that we're on the books, we need to get a signed contract with them. We've had this discussion the last couple of years. The pyrotechnic industry has been been operating without enough qualified technicians. You go on their website and the first thing that they're doing is recruiting technics. They're not promoting their shows, they're recruiting technicians. So I think it's advantageous for us to move forward as quickly as possible to ensure that we're able to offer this program to our residents.
Any questions?
So they're not offering us a multi-year contract.
We did not request one as well. I don't know if it was necessarily advantageous to us when we did this last year. The increases the last 3 years were greater than this one, what this one ended up
Okay.
being.
Gotcha.
So they basically told us, as long as we continue to use them, they will have a spot for us. But if we skip a year, we're
Go back to.
back to the end of the line. So.
It went up less than I was concerned it was gonna go up.
Being the 250th anniversary, I was expecting a little,
No questions? Okay, I move the board of directors approve the production agreement with Pyro Spectaculars, Inc. for the July 3rd, 2026 Independence Celebration fireworks display at Vernola Family Park in the amount of $43,000 and authorize the general manager to execute the agreement, make all necessary payments.
I'll second it.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes 4-0. We move on to item 5.3, which is a workshop for goal setting. Mr. DeWitt.
Yes, thank you. Again, this is something we do historically the first of every year. It's in our bylaws, setting goals for the board, for staff, for the upcoming year. We had a really good staffing today and talking about kind of the conclusion of 2025 and what to expect for 2026. I'm excited for what 2026 is going to bring us. At the same time, we're being very cautious going forward. We're in a interesting political climate. We're in an unknown economy. We're being cautious on stuff. We're not seeing massive growth within our programs, but we're not necessarily seeing any major concerning declines in our programs and registrations and attendances. So I think we're set up for a very good, successful year going forward. We have a number of projects. 37th Street Park project here, hopefully being awarded some funds for that. There is also the voters approved Proposition 4 back in 2024 that will be available early 2026 with grants due later this year for park construction. I think our 58th Street Park project is going to be a very good candidate for that. I hope to be bringing back to you guys some proposals from landscape architects for these conceptual drawing services and then helping with our community outreach for the project with the anticipation of being awarded some funds for those construction as well. There's a lot of development going on in the city right now, or maybe not quite yet, but it's going to be starting very, very soon. We know the Harvest Villages projects out on the west end of town has been approved and they've completed their grading. And they're gonna be starting to go vertical here first quarter 2026. The
That's
real,
a Harvest Village.
it's Harvest Vernola Ranch or Vernola,
Okay.
yeah,
'Cause-
the ones behind Skyview, I apologize. The Rio Vista project is clearing up their some legal challenges that they're having, and that project should be starting this year as well. So we're gonna be a lot of movement going on in the district that is going to start triggering future park projects and construction. We've been very active in our grant applications. We've been awarded the one for the Discovery Center for our fire mitigation stuff. We have 3 other ones that are pending. We anticipate some notifications on first quarter of this year. But with that, we have a number of things that we've been kind of talking about that I think we need to start prioritizing. One of which is updating our park construction standards. They're not, I wouldn't say they're obsolete, but there's definitely some areas for improvement. We've learned a lot of things over the years. There's things that we want to update to that. I know the board has also requested at the same time or even prior to it, we update our plant palette to be more native plant materials. There's a lot of trees, species within that just don't work well with our landscape maintenance programs. I'm trying to look at being more cost effective. Obviously, continue looking at land banking, something that we're always going to be doing. But those are some big stuff that I'd like to see us looking at going forward with park facilities. Our recreation department, we begin talking with the budget committee. We are working on what we're calling a support level plan, which is going to help provide guidance to staff on our cost recovery measures for our programs. Staff's been completing the initial studies on all of our programs. Some of it was very encouraging. Some of it was very eye-opening. So we'll be bringing those documents to the board for final approval as well. And really what that comes down to, the example I always give is swim lessons. Is that something that we should be subsidizing? Is that something we should be breaking even on or showing a profit on? You know, essentially the guidance the board has unofficially always provided is swim lessons is a life skill that we should be subsidizing. You know, but to what extent? You know, staff's always been the one making those recommendations and decisions, and this just should be formalized by the board. We're also looking at our facility use charges. We've gone through and done a deep dive and figured out what it costs us per hour to operate all of our facilities. So when it comes to rentals and contract classes, what our operating costs are. So that's going to be very insightful for us moving forward as well. Continue looking at grants, obviously, for the recreation department. Expanding recreation programs, classes, and activities is an ongoing plan that we have. One of the things we've also kicked around on, and we've been doing more of it, is sponsorships for events and activities. I think coming up with a district-wide sponsorship packet for all of our special events, programs is something that'd be very beneficial to us as well as the business community. We do have a number of larger businesses that have come to town the last couple of years, and they've been very active and wanting to participate in activities. But we need to establish what the balance of equity is in this. You know, come and show up at our concert in the park and just giving away free coupons to the public, or is there more that needs to happen for that exposure? So I think establishing a formal policy, just so again, doesn't fall on the staff's the one making that decision, and if it's right or wrong, or an appropriate balance. And then from the administration side, a continued district marketing plan. We're doing well, but we can always improve that. Part of what we're working on tonight with Miguel taking your pictures, just updating our website, updating our presence, you know, making sure that we are providing as much information as possible to the public. We'll continue to apply for grants in Rubidoux, Miraloma areas. I would like to see us apply for the Special District Leadership Foundation, District of Distinction, and District Transparency Certificate of Excellence. These are offered through the California Special District Association, and it's just that we're meeting all the best practices. For the most part, we're already doing it, a lot of our stuff. And it's not going to mean any extra work on our part in any sort, but it just shows that we're the best of the best. I truly believe that our district is in the upper echelons. We are extremely transparent. We are available and open to the public. And having these certificates, I think, is just a nice tip of the cap. We've talked about the implementation of our capital improvement plan. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of development coming in, which funds are going to be coming in associated with that. So start setting up our priorities. You know, we've got a number of projects from park development to deferred maintenance costs that we need to start looking at and prioritizing. So that's where the capital improvement plan will come in. We've got a good list going, but we need to start formalizing it, putting dollars to it, putting timelines to it. Things can move up and down in that list based on if we were get a grant for some reason or other additional funding comes up, but we got to make sure nothing gets missed. I think one of the biggest priorities that I have is to adopt a clear and defined set of goals for the Hoopa Mountains Discovery Center. We took that over 6 months ago now. It's been a good endeavor so far, and we really knew the first year was going to be kind of a learning and cleanup process at the facility. And we're in January now, and I would like to see us come July have at least a well-defined set of goals moving forward for budget purposes as well. I think we all have a kind of shared common vision, but I think we need to get that on paper and get it refined so we can stop throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks.
Would, I don't mean to interrupt, but would it be beneficial to have the JMDC included in the master plan and have them
So-
come out and spend the money to do that.
So one of the things that's part of this, I didn't bring it all into the weeds tonight because this, like, we could go on for hours and hours and hours on this. But I do have a proposal from Barry Dunn that did our master plan to come in and do a very high level assessment of the facility and help facilitate that for us. That was something that the JMDC committee wanted to see. It's not incredibly expensive, but it's a good chunk of
I
money.
think it would be helpful.
I think it'd be very
it should be
beneficial,
included.
so. And I think that would fall in line with that, having somebody else facilitate it besides. I think we're capable of doing it in-house with staff, but I think it brings a lot more validity to it as well.
Mhm. I think that needs to come to us so we can have a discussion, find out how much it costs.
We can definitely bring that forward, and part of it, that's a goal that we adopt, or we want to see adopted, that definitely we can prioritize as well. And the other thing I think we need to be looking at is, or we need to update is our Nexus study. That was last adopted by the board in 2017. Since then, the law, we were currently charging per EDU, equivalent dwelling unit. Since then, the law has changed. It's a flat fee, and we need to update it to be that we're charging by square foot. So that's gonna require an updated study, and that's something that we need to be working on as well.
Surely we've looked at the pricing on the next study in something less than 7 or 8 years. Yeah, no, I see.
Park maintenance, continued monitoring for drought conditions. I think our maintenance department's doing a really good job. And then work on turf replacement projects for the Rupert Skate Park and Clay Park that we've already discussed. I think with our ongoing efforts, so. That's kind of where I'm at. I have some other things, depending how the conversation goes, we can talk on, but I'm available for any questions you guys may have or comments.
Just interesting, Tommy, because you talked about drought conditions. On the way over here, they said this is the first time, and I forget how many years.
30 years.
Yeah, there's not a single square inch of California that's under drought condition.
Wow. Change next year.
For now, oh yeah, no, they're gonna see it. I get that, but I just thought that was interesting.
I got 30 years.
Yeah.
So.
I think we need to start developing our priorities with regards to our nonprofit foundation. It's like it's in existence, but we don't seem to be doing anything with it. So we need to-
Correct, yeah, we've only just recently finally received all the last official documentation, but yes.
I think that as our community grows, we are better off to have more plans in place than less plans in place. So for example, one of the things that seems to come up on a regular basis is nonprofits and their ability to be at our events. And I think that we need to develop a plan that so everyone's on the same page as to.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand with our sponsor, or not hand in
Maybe.
hand, but aligns with the sponsorship packet.
Because, they want to be at our events, but to have the same 3 at every event, to the exclusion of others, maybe others don't realize they could be at the events, you see what I mean? So it just needs to, we need to make
No.
it fair for everyone. And then, yes, I'm in complete agreement, we need to do the JMDC master plan, or at least I want to see how much it's going to cost. We have discussed animal care plans and, for the animals up at JMDC, and I've been pleased that things have improved up there, but I don't feel they have improved,
To the level of expectation.
right. Particularly for the large tortoises. I also wish we could do a little more at the senior center. They do get some sponsorships there, but I mean, it really
I
wouldn't
got
take.
GM Cup report come up still.
Oh, okay. I just think that there are grants and things that could happen there. So it wouldn't take very much money to add things there. And then that's it. That's all I got.
Are there any partnerships you would like to see us bring in, or that you think would be beneficial, like the tree people?
I think the Tree People is something that we're looking at, opportunities that would go along with the Prop 4 grant applications. I think that's a a good partnership for us. We're looking at some of the grants that we're applying for right now, and this one right now is big on partnerships. And we're looking how we can strategically line with different organizations for that. So I don't necessarily know if we need to identify specific groups other than just continuing to look at partnerships and how they can benefit everybody involved.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to limit us by, oh, we didn't think about that one.
Not specific, but like an area of expertise that we might look at.
No, yeah, I think those are, they're gonna help us a lot moving forward, or have the possibility to.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned Avalon, so a lot of that gonna be contingent based on the development?
Avalon Park?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, that's what we have unofficially said, all the development over in that area is going into Avalon. We've got money set aside, kind of earmarked in the development back fees. But I think that's where the capital improvement project will help solidify that for us.
They've already started putting up models over there.
Oh, yeah, they're moving, you know, there's a couple other things that still need to come with it, but yeah, there's funds coming.
Rio Vista has started putting in models?
No, Emerald Ridge North.
Oh, okay.
And then supposedly Emerald Ridge South is gonna restart shortly as well.
And then what about the assessment fee to raise that? Or is that? what do you call it?
If that's a board, if that is a item the board would wish to discuss, I think that could be very easily added to this.
When you say the assessment fee, are you talking about the $15?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say the other assessment fees are related to the Nexus study.
No, it's the 15.
Yeah, if we want to go down that path, I think that's a whole nother set of discussions that needs to take place.
I would just like a preliminary discussion and feel the, yeah.
yeah, and
We're talking about going last, everybody else is.
Oh, okay.
That's
no,
not,
I'm gonna iterate, for me, the JMDC master plan.
And that was my biggest thing, was getting
Right.
JMDC and the master plan.
I think that seems to be it.
that's a clear top priority.
And if memory serves, maybe it doesn't these days. When we did the master plan, was there discussion about how open people were gonna be to raise the assessment fees? Wasn't that?
There was a part of our survey that addressed that. And we can revisit that if we would like to, as part of the discussion, that'd be something that we looked at, I think.
I just wonder if.
It was a very high level question.
Right, it's also kind of late for the ballot this year, but. To be a good time when we're not competing with school bonds and, a bunch of other fees. Because we've always been competing with that, everybody just says no to everything.
You sure the school district isn't gonna do another school bond? Because it seems like they do one on every year.
I don't know, there's a lot, everybody's complaining about how the system, everything's going downhill. And they have less enrollment, so why do they need more money? There's a lot of talk, but you never know how the vote is gonna go.
Well, on that, can that be a discussion maybe you have with the superintendent? That maybe gauge their intentions and.
I would be surprised if they go back out for another one, but I will at least.
Yeah, I would
anytime
think right
soon,
now they're not going to, I would think they're not going to.
But
Usually, those won the ballot in November, right? Not in the primary.
well, again, if this is something we want to have, this is not really, we need, correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, we need to be somewhat cautious what we're floating around here, because it's not really an agendized item. But if that's something, we can have a separate discussion on that.
Mhm.
And based on that discussion, bring in consultants or have further detailed, there's a whole nother strategy that comes.
So
into
do we
play.
wanna, when we get to that part of our agenda for future agenda items?
I think we can, if we start, formalizing the goals,
Yeah,
and that would be something that you could prioritize if that's something you wanted.
But you should not develop a consensus unless it's on the agenda. Setting an agenda item is perfectly acceptable.
And I think that's what we're,
I think, yeah.
any other questions or comments on this item? Okay,
and you don't, or you already did yours.
was checking off my list and you guys just kept checking
Oh, okay.
off my
Okay,
list.
good.
So it was-
Glad to do that.
Okay,
I think I have clear guidance and
yeah,
we're good to go.
all right, let's move on to communications committee reports, general manager's report.
First, I want to pass out to you. Take one and pass it around. This is just a quick report from you from the Dine with the Dinosaurs event at JMDC back last November. In a nutshell, the event brought in, they grossed about $2,300 in profit. It wasn't as successful as it has been in the past, but all things considered, I think it was a good event, so. We're reevaluating what we're gonna do in the future with these types of activities up at the Discovery Center, along with everything else, but again, I think all in all, it was a good event for us.
Wasn't it raining?
It was rainy, it was post fire, it
I
was
think the weather had the most to do with the turnout.
probably. But just the sponsorships were down too a little bit. Which impacted some of the attendance as well. Okay. Yeah. Couple of things I want to pick the board on. This Saturday is our first games of our youth basketball program out at Avalon Gym, 9 a.m. If you're available any Saturday for the next 9 weeks, please feel free to stop by between 9 and about 2:30. See some exciting action going on out there. Staff doing a really good job. Right now, we have volunteer coaches for every team but 2. And we're just pending one of the clearances for one of our coaches. So that's more than we've had the last couple of years, which is nice to see. Tomorrow, I believe we will begin advertising for another trip from the Eddie D. Smith Senior Center. Staff has been able to secure a free admission to the Wild Animal Park in San Diego. It is a lot of walking. We're aware of that. It'll be something very, that's noted. It'll be, it's late February, I believe, of next month. And then on top of that, we do have a couple not grant opportunities still pending for the Eddie D. Smith Senior Center in regards to, a state grant to go to Mount San Jacinto State Park. And that would bring 200, participants that'll qualify for the bus ride, the tram ride up and lunch. So that'd be completely free.
Quick suggestion, get us to the Getty.
Those are things that they're working on up there, but yeah,
The Wild Animal Park admission is free, but I assume they have to pay for the.
we pay for the bus.
Okay, so like the people riding the bus, like the $20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Having been there very recently, I can tell you it is exhausting
Yeah.
walking around that place.
The Getty?
No.
The Wild Animal.
Wild
Yes.
Especially in the warmth, it was just miserable being there.
Well, late February, thank goodness.
They're coming. I'll have some more information for you as well in the next coming weeks in regards to the Friends of the Eddie D. Smith Senior Center. But it appears they are in the process of disbanding right now.
Oh,
And they will be making a donation to the Friends of the Hoop Area Parks Foundation of the remaining funds, specifically for use at the Eddie D. Smith Center for programming. Drawing a blank here, I apologize. I'm had a rough week, so. Other than that, just an update, Pleasant Valley Park, they have resumed the last of the excavation of the soil. That would be immediately begin backfilling the property. The contractor anticipates that taking 3 to 4 weeks to complete that the excavation and the recompaction of the site. We've already met with our landscape contractor. They will be coming in reinstalling irrigation lines, and then they're gonna bring in large roll sod to speed the process up. And hopefully get this project completed and back open to the public. Best case scenario with no rain, we're still probably 2.5 months out. So
Why are they still excavating if there was no need to excavate in the first
this
place?
is part of the agreement of what was gonna be excavated, and that's what the insurance company. We're requesting, the city's requesting an insurance company. It comes out of liability at this point. They don't want to say they left anything, no stone unturned type of a situation, so. I understand completely, but it's better, it's the best for all parties involved to not have left anything. Other than that, things are going well. We've received a lot of rain, as you're well. Ball fields are currently closed. We're slowly able to get those back up and operational. Luckily, it's kind of the off season for all the basketball, or I'm sorry, softball, baseball leagues. And then I'll kick back up here for another 3 or 4 weeks. So come that time, we'll be fully operational pending, any more rain coming in. And with that, I'll conclude my report.
Questions of the general manager on his report? Okay, board comments. I'm just gonna go down the list here. Mrs. Johnson.
No comments tonight.
Okay, Mr. Convenience.
It's good to be back and it's good to see you all. Happy New Year and thank you to staff as always.
Okay, Mr. Castellan.
Looking forward to the work this year.
And for me, I will say that we served a nice lunch to the seniors over Christmas. And I think it was very well reserved. The small group that was there, we served how many? 150? Was it 200 or how much more?
I think it was.
We did it all in 24 minutes. I would dare any restaurant to do as well as we did.
Yeah.
As far as getting, and that included desserts. So it was a lot of fun, and my wife and I went out and, as we do every year, to look at all the Christmas lights, all the contested winners. We spent, instead of trying to rush it in one night, we did it in 3 nights and just took the city in thirds. And there was some amazing and spectacular displays out there for sure, and we very much enjoyed it. And that's gonna be it of my comments. I don't want to go too far. Okay, do we have any requests for any future agenda items? I do. I would like to bring for discussion as future agenda item, the activity guides, the mailings, how they operate. And I know we can't discuss it, but I never received it. None of my neighbors never received it. And apparently there's areas that are just not receiving it. We spend a lot of money on it in our postage, and I just want to have a discussion as to how we can do better with tracking. So I want to have that on agenda for a future meeting. And upcoming committee meetings.
Yes, one of the things, so do you want to talk about your committee assignments?
Yeah, okay, everybody, your committee assignments are out front. Hopefully doesn't have any objections to these committee assignments. I tried to base them off what we have done in the past and mix it up so everybody has a chance to do pretty much everything. Ms. Rivas is not here, but as she's going to be incoming president next season, I thought she should be on the budget and personnel. I think everybody needs a shot at that. But everybody has 2 items, so hopefully everybody's fine with those.
Will you still be doing the interagency?
I was gonna say, if there's no other volunteers, I will do it, but if somebody wants to volunteer, I'll be more than happy to let somebody else hit it. Okay, I guess I'm doing the interagencies. I just put it out there, if anybody else wants to do it. I will say that sometimes they can be boring as all get out, and sometimes they can be very informative.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say very boring.
Well, that, come on.
First one in January or just?
Next, yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, January 23rd. And it's going to be at the JFDC. Yeah, Jesus. Too many acronyms, I'm telling you.
What I would like to do is schedule one committee meeting with each of the different committees in the first month or so. Budget personnel being the first priority as we're looking at our mid-year budget adjustments right now. So, I'll be reaching out to the Tammy and
Kim,
Kim to get that,
Okay,
get that scheduled. She's just not here tonight to schedule it.
okay.
I'll reach out with the rest of you as to availability and what works best with your associated committees. I think the other one that'd be a priority then is the JMDC committee. We'll bring that forward with the proposal from Barry Dunn. In case there's any requests you want to see before we bring it to the entire board. Just because of the timing of it. Okay.
I'm not ready to schedule.
No, on the agenda says parks, maintenance systems and safety, and then under it is.
Yeah, we changed them. I can, I'll edit it.
Yeah, that was going crazy.
What's that for maintenance system? Have we changed the name of it?
We folded it into another,
Oh,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
we'll fix it. I'll fix the list here.
okay. There's no other questions, comments? We will adjourn this meeting until January 22nd at 6:30.
7:30.
10:30.
Started at 6:30.
Start at 6:40.
6:40, yeah, so 7:30.
So 6:30.
The closing?
So I get what he meant.
Wait, oh,
Oh, we closed. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's call it 7:20.
No, he's adjourning it until the next.
Yes, yes, adjourning it to the next meeting. Yeah, I haven't done this in 5 years.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob.